This is Deadman9001, the voice of the GrexofFaria Channel here on YouTube. You're currently watching me play Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. We're going to do a bit of a playthrough here of one of my more favorite games of the series. Honestly, I love every game of the series, but this one has quite a bit of different things than any of the other games. So, this November, December, and January, hopefully, we'll be playing Fire Emblem and making several series on the game. So we'll start with this game here, the Sacred Stones, since it's not quite aligned with the other two. And then we'll hit the regular Fire Emblem that was launched, and Fire Emblem the Sealed Sword, I think. Either way, Fire Emblem 6 after Fire Emblem 7. You'll understand why when those videos come out. But anyway, we're going to start here and play some of this. Now, this is my favorite game of the series because it's the first game of the series that I actually played and beat. What was it? I was playing Link's, or one of the event. Yeah, it was the Legend of Zelda. The one with the 4 swords and A Link to the Past. Link to the Past 4 swords. Anyway, I bought the game, and in the little pamphlets that they had in the games, they had, you know, booklets, or in the little booklets in the game, they had other games that you would want to play. And this is one of the games that actually showed up there. And I started playing it, and in fact, actually, this game wasn't in it, but the first Fire Emblem released worldwide was. So I ended up buying this one, because that's the one that was out, that I saw. I then eventually found my way buying the first one after playing this, and I was just really enjoying. It's kind of like Final Fantasy Tactics in a way, but permadeath is a thing. We're going to play a new game here, and because I'm not a first-timer, I don't want you to have to deal with all the darn hints and tutorial. Now, this game starts off with, I think, a 10-game tutorial, if I'm not mistaken. I have the official guidebook from Nintendo Power here, handy, and ready to look at. Now, I only really actually look at it for recruitable characters, because they're here and they require you to use specific people. And I haven't played this particular game in a long time. And you might see that a little bit about that later. I might put face cam back on here so that we can see it, but oh, I'm sorry, we actually have 9 missions on the tutorial, quote-unquote, part, and one of them is an extra mission that you can, I think they actually make you play. But anyway, so we're going to start anyway, on the normal mode. The Fall of Reneus. If I butcher any of these pronunciations, it's okay, because I'm sure everybody else has done the same. I'll let you read, because, you know, you guys can read. I know you can. Let you do your own kind of narration. Welcome to the Sacred Stones. I actually started writing a book that was called The Legend of Orr, the Sacred Stones of Orr. And it's not finished, but anyway, it kind of, the name and some of the concepts of the game comes from this in the original Final Fantasy game that came out on the NES when it came to America. So, part of the way through our Let's Play here, with commentary, we will be going on some face cam here. Welcome to Magvel, by the way. This is a continent that this world is based off of, not the ones that the previous game has been based off of. And I hope that this is big enough for you guys to look at. I know that from what I've taken a look at, it's perfectly fine, but you never know. But anyway, so this part of the story just kind of outlines all of the kingdoms in Magvel, the continent. So your family comes from Reneus. You have neighbors all over. In fact, you're kind of landlocked. You are the only landlocked kingdom. Fun. And you can see different kind of governments here thrown in and out. Most of them are all kingdoms. Rado's the only one that considers themselves an empire, and Roston's a theocracy. There's 5 main countries. There's one, though, that's not. And that's not a main country because all the other countries are considered the main countries because of the sacred stones they house. The one that doesn't house one, in fact, is the only one that's not a kingdom ruled by one man. It's a council. I mean, one person's seen as the face of the council, but it's a mercantile republic. In fact, the land's been at peace. It's been through 803 years. And of course, those years are from when the world was saved, of course, the first time. And of course, Grotto becomes the main enemy for a lot of this game. But I won't spoil that part for you. But it's always awkward when your best friend becomes your enemy. And this game, like the 2 before, were released on the Game Boy Advance. This is actually the last Game Boy Advance release of the game before Awakening came out. Fire Emblem Awakening. 2 more games followed this one, which were both released on console, the GameCube and the Wii. Which I probably may not actually ever get to playing on the stream unless I can actually get some kind of computer copies of the game. But anyway. So essentially the backstory, if you weren't paying attention, is that your best buddy invades you, and because you weren't expecting it, they kind of just managed to get to your castle within days. Oh, and also, one of the family members, which is the prince, one of the heirs of Reneus, is actually gallivanting in Grotto somewhere with people when this started. I shouldn't hit B. Oh yeah, and then your character gets accosted as the castle gets invaded. So here you are escaping, and you're like, why? Anyway. Sound judgment. Send him away. So there's only 2 people. Uh-oh. The winch. Oh yeah, and some of these people have very nice egos. By the way, if this was an actual fight and he got attacked again, he would be dead. Obviously, you could see that. So he could hit for 17. But, that's kind of a permadeath. It means that this guy would be gone forever if he actually got hit again. And he just decides to run away instead. Although in real life, if they actually cared, you know, if this group of people actually cared to continue, they would catch up. But it's a bunch of dragons, or wyverns, versus a horse. Oh, goodness. I'm pretty sure that your father would be dead at this point, based on the fact that they were willing to attack people. I don't really think they would let her live. I don't like this guy, though. He's willing to just be nice about it and be like, well, it is possible they could still be alive. Instead of, no, they're both dead. We gotta keep going, though. Just kind of keeping her in check, being like, yeah, no, I mean, they're still both alive, and you better keep living, and we better make it there, because, you know, if not, they're gonna be sad. Oh, goodness. Oh, well, we don't have to do that tutorial part. That actually was a tutorial section. We got weapons. And we got people. Oh wait, a princess who can defend herself. Well, that's not something you'd expect. Let's attack you! Why not? So in this game, essentially, if you can't tell, there are 3 things that judge your successfulness in battle, which is just when you attack another person. With Erica, as you saw, she had a 100% chance to hit there. This guy only had 39%, which means that obviously has a less likely chance of hitting, so you have more of a chance to evade the attack. Because Erica is a little bit quicker than this guy, with speed 9 versus speed 1, she's able to attack twice. Also, Erica is holding onto a sword. There is a weapons triangle in this game. Axes are weaker than swords, but stronger than lances. Lances are better than swords, but are weak against axes, of course. And finally, axes are better than lances, but not that you needed all of that tutorial. But anyway. Now with these games, they seem to always typically have a paladin already with your character. Always. It's kind of weird. Oh, he landed a hit. Also, Erica has a 14% chance of critting, which triples the amount of her attack. So we're going to take a quick pause here, just to review that. So, her percent chance of hitting a critical hit is 14%. Which means that, you know, if she hits, or RNG decides that she's going to crit, she's going to strike for 3 times the amount of damage. Now, base because her attack is 11, that means she'd hit for 33. That's ignoring the other person's defense. There are many other things and skills and other complicated things that are in this, but I find it a lot of fun. Also, weapons have durability, which means you can't infinitely keep using this weapon. After 40 hits, or 40 uses, this weapon will be gone, and I'll have to use another weapon. Another sword, because Erica can only use a sword. Notice nothing else has any letters next to it. It means she can only use a sword. Now there are classes, which is what this is. This is a class. Her class is a lord. Unfortunately, it's only just a title. Where Seth here is Paladin, which is a mounted knight. Now you saw another character there, his name's Franz. He's a Cavalier, which is the lower tier version of this. He, like Seth, can use swords and lances. Bows are a thing, and axes are another thing altogether. You'll see more of these. All people that can use all those. Vulneraries are kind of like heals, or potions. They heal 10 HP. Now I could rush Seth in here, kill this guy, 2 hits, be done with it, but I'd rather actually have Erica do it. I'll tell you about terrain in a little while. I'd rather not do tutorial all over the place here. And crit! Awesome. Glad I had her do it instead. Oh yeah, there's levels too. We'll get to that in the next battle or next episode. It's still early, so I don't want to overload you with things that you have to learn in this game, because that's the beauty of playing it the first time. You can play it with tutorials, and you don't have to worry about it. So. Of course, if you watch the battle animations, then realistically she wouldn't be okay. She'd have an axe going through her head. Hooray, we did one! That took 14 minutes. Onward to escape. So we might do like 2 chapters, which is... Chapters are... I don't know, feels like it's hard to explain, but chapter is a level, let's say. It's essentially this game's equivalent of a level. You clear each chapter and keep moving on. It's kind of also like a story. It's pretty cool how they use it that instead of just saying level 1, level 2. Okay, so I will tell you, if you haven't noticed already, that the red people are your enemies, essentially, obviously. The blue people are your teammates, or your group, is the sprites colored in blue. Green is a neutral team, called your allies. Green will always fight against the red. They won't fight against you, but you can't control the green. You can talk to some of the green and convert them to blue, but other than that, they're there. Just more people. They're considered allies instead, but I didn't want to confuse everybody by just saying allies. Yeah, that was scripted, of course. So now we're dealing with more than just axes and swords. And lords and paladins. Okay, 2 people take on everything. Got it. Erica's all about the people. She'll make a fine ruler, right? Being all about the people. Alright, so, another fun thing you want to do, aside from check on what everybody has, is check on how far everybody can move. Blue means they can move there, red means that's where they can attack. And of course it's just going to show you the furthest range that they have. Like this guy, he has range everywhere. Over here. And he has a range, but he's never going to move because your goal is to seize this, which is he's sitting on, the gate. If he moved, well, you could just bypass him and get to the gate. That wouldn't be as fun, would it? So, anyway. Let's let Erica talk to these people. I didn't get anything from that. Let's go over here, Sethy Pants. Of course, most of the people in here are really cocky. Ow. And think that they're immediately going to capture you anytime you walk near them, whether you're the princess or you're anything else. Oh. Okay, so let's talk about some classes. So as you know, Seth's Paladin, Erica's a Lord, a sword-wielding Lord. That becomes important later. Gilliam is a Knight. Knights can only use lances. They're very useful in certain battles, but most of the time, I don't know, I find them not being as useful as I wish. Franz is the Cavalier. He can use swords and lances. Very useful. Actually, let's have Gilliam attack you. Lance to the face. You just gotta like that though, because if I attacked him first with Franz, he'd be lanced in the face but still survive until the second lance to the face. But anyway, that's Fire Emblem logic right there. And should I talk about that? I don't know. I feel like I'm throwing a lot at you guys, but I'm sure you guys are good enough to handle it. Let's see. I can't quite attack you anyway, so let's use a vulnerary. Again. Let's let Seth take care of you. That ends my turn. Now there are some things that have benefits. See, lance to the face once, twice. Fire Emblem logic. That lance to the face piercing your face does not kill you. But anyway, now as far as this game goes, you have forts, which adds to your defense. Again, I talk about this later. We'll overload you another day. But they have avoid. You can use them to avoid. But their benefits that make them different than forests, peaks, another terrain you can use to your advantage, is the fact that this heals you every turn. Just like this gate here. So if I attack this guy and don't kill him the first turn, on his turn, he heals. And you can talk to people. And the good thing about Cavaliers, you move once, you do your action, either attack, talk to people, whatever, trade with people, you can move one more time. Although he's gonna get attacked, maybe. Or they might actually go after... Ooh, this could be a problem. You also have to pay attention to where you're throwing your people, too. Because at some point... the enemy is just going to damage them enough that they can actually kill them on their turn, so you don't have a chance to heal. But this isn't going to be one of those cases. Or maybe it will. Okay, Franz, go back here. Oh my goodness. They got 41% chance to hit me, they hit me every time. I've had people that have had like 10% kill me, or they've had 10% to hit me and they actually do kill me. It's rather obnoxious. See, we get to show you how useful forts can be. Can't believe I just used all 3 vulneraries there. Oh well. Let's see, Franz, can you kill them? You're gonna die. Just stay there. Now you don't actually have to attack every turn, or every time you have the chance to. You can actually wait it out. Let them attack you. I would have laughed if he actually hit me there. It wouldn't have been surprising. Well, we may not do 2 chapters per episode. Some of the chapters can get a little lengthy. Oh dear. Erica Strunk. She spelled her name so weird. But yeah, you can see he heals himself every turn. Which means, of course, at some point, if I keep missing, he's gonna heal up. So park you there for a second. They can take a little bit longer now, because now I gotta ditz around with this. Instead of just straight on attacking him with everything, I have to back people off because he can kill them. I could just rush Seth in there, and have Seth just straight up kill him. But I don't see the fun in that. You're gonna die, so go away. I'm not really terribly worried. I'm pretty sure I'll win this one. Erica, just go against the whole weapons thing. Weapons triangle. Yay! You critted him. Well, that kind of solves everything. She should have done that the first time around. Oh yeah. And also, lords are the only class that can seize gates, sit on thrones, or whatever. So, Erica's the only one that can actually win me this level. So, there you go. So this has been the first look here at Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stones. I'm just gonna let all the chat go away. Or we can just continue. I forget how some of these chapters end, so... Of course he wouldn't survive the fall. I mean, they invaded his country. They wouldn't just let the king live for no reason. You would kill him. So now you're on a personal vengeance quest. Oh yeah, and he gifts you people too. He's just like, I found some people, these are going to be useful. You accompany them. He gives you his vassals too. Or some of his vassals anyway. And this is the one benefit of this game that the other games did not have on the Game Boy, which you'll see in a later series, is that you can travel with a supply convoy and not have to deploy a unit to make sure that you guys can trade and everything. It's one convenient thing where the other games were like, you need to have this guy sit in the game and take up a unit's space. He won't be able to defend himself, but he'll be there just so that when you collect too many items, you don't have to just drop it. Hooray, 5,000 gold! Alright guys, well thank you for tuning in and watching here. This has been a first look at this game here of Fire Emblem. Tune in next time for Chapter 2 and most likely Chapter 3, where we will be continuing on this quest. Thank you. You all have a good rest of your night.